Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a couple of days after Christmas. Hope you had a nice break with all your families. Back in the garage again. You saw in the last video making this end cap, so we're going to bring the car down lower for access in the rear, underneath the rear seat, to access the damaged metal there and kind of get a game plan together for our next steps of repairs. Start working our way back to the rear of the car. So let's lower it down and I'll show you what I've been up to. So this is obviously the rear section underneath the seat, and see that circular piece there? Okay, you remember that from underneath. The main leg comes in here and tapers into the inner rocker here. If you can see that? That's where it laps on there. What we've got to do is remove this underseal so I can see where the spot welds are and where we're going to cut. We've got to cut a panel out here essentially to gain access to the dog leg that rests underneath this section. To get to our box section, we've got to get to this section. Obviously this top section's alright, this is pretty good, but as it dives down underneath the car, it's got a lot of damage that we've got to access and cut in fresh metal. Sounds like a royal pain, because it is a royal pain, but it's still kind of fun though, really. We're going to use aggressive wire brush attachments. We got this one and we got this guy. That'll tear through this like nobody's business. Obviously use very good eye protection and hand protection for that. Also, another note here while we're in this area, see this area here, this is where the handbrake cable brackets are. They're the handbrake guides that spread and go to the individual wheels at the rear. This one's okay, but you can see all that. Whoops, someone's trying to call me. Hold on just a second. Oh, it's just a friend of mine on the phone. Anyway, so as I was saying, this is all bent up. I'm assuming again, because this is an air suspension car, the suspension probably failed and he went bouncing down that dirt road where I got this from and stoved this in. So I'm going to also remove a lot of this underseal here and try and put back some proper shape to this bent, twisted metal. So do the best I can. I mean, it's not like upper body work. I'll get it as straight as I possibly can, but not lose sleep over it. But let's get started, shall we? I'm not going to show you, grinding away on this. I'll do this and then get back to you. Thought I'd just show you my way of getting it off here. I've tried a couple of ways. I've tried here with the steel brush, but I'm going to get the most of it off with heat again, like I did on the underside areas. So give you a little experiment on this kind of area. Now I've got a mask on, so I won't talk. I'll just play the torch here and you'll see it come off. And this looks like some kind of adhesive that should just scrape off pretty easy after the fact. And then we can take the wire brush to it. I'm really wanting to get to these joints underneath here. But let's clean this up and see what happens. Mask on. I've always got a fire extinguisher nearby, by the way. Set that over there. Look at that. What easier. You get the idea. So I'm going to clean all this up and we will see where we're going to make the cut. So there we have it. That literally took about, no kidding, around 20 minutes to get all that main body of it off, right? And now I will vacuum all that loose stuff out, and then I'll go at this, cleaning all these edges up so I can see all where I can break spot welds and all that stuff with the wire wheel. And also now it gives me better appreciation of how dented this section was. See, all this kind of creasing and stuff. I've got to try and do my best to reshape that as best I can. So yeah, that actually wasn't a bad job at all. And there's all the stuff that come off. So there you have it. We've got down a nice bare steel now, and so obviously you can see all the spot welds along this area here that we can remove and take this panel out all the way around. And then if you look carefully, I'll just line it out, you can see that's the line of spot welds all the way. I think it's about there, following the spot welds as best I can. That's our dog leg, about there. And then this little crease here indicates this rocker, and then this rocker, whoops, off camera a bit. So this rocker is obviously straight, and then this rocker dives up there to our main frame leg that ends up in the trunk area. So what we're doing, the reason we cleaned all this off is because we need to access the top inside of this guy, get rid of that, and then dig down and repair the inside of this rocker, which is good up here actually. This is all pretty decent, but all the inside right to the end here is buggered up. So that's the plan, Stan, and so yeah, it's coming along pretty nice. I'll probably spend a little bit longer, just clean up this whole deck area, and maybe try and correct that handbrake area as well, just with a hammer and dolly, and mess around with that. So there you have it. So moving on. Right, now that took about another 20 minutes to get this half really cleaned up nicely. Still little detailed areas in the corners and stuff where my wheels don't get like down in this hold down area here. I'll clean that up with a smaller wire brush attachment. Also in the corners here where the air tank suspension is held here, there's a little corner there I can't get to, but generally the wheels get in there really nice. Obviously always wear one of these things. I tell you, with this, the speed of these wire wheels going, you really don't want those little shards going in your face or eyes. That would be really bad. And then obviously ear protection. Also fire extinguisher when you're doing any of the heat stuff. Now let me go over the few tools I used. This one worked very well for the broad surfaces, you know, the overall area, but what I found ended up happening, you're trying to lean in and dig in with the edge. That's fine, but I tell you what worked really well was these type of ones. This is mad. This stuff, I tell you what my granddad used to say, stop you laughing in church, that will, I tell you, because that tears into it like you wouldn't believe, and it stands up pretty well. You can see it's pretty beaten up, but it's still doing the job. So this, again, at an angle, does a great job. And then, to finish up, I used a similar one, just a smaller one here, to get into the tighter areas. And then for the really tight areas, just one of those ones, like one of these ones, this kind of thing on a drill or something like that, to get in all these areas and all the real tight corners. So another couple of big bonuses for using something like this to take this underseal off. Number one, you are not removing metal. You'll get the odd spark, sure, but you're not grinding away at metal and making it thinner, and that's very important. You know, for instance, if you took, say, well, sandpaper would get instantly clogged, but you get the idea. If you were something really aggressive and starting seeing a lot of sparks, that means you're taking metal away, so you don't want to do that. Plus, these leave a nice scratch in the metal. For this will get epoxy primered before any sound deadening treatment or whatever, I haven't decided yet, that goes on here. So that's kind of another bonus for something like this. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention, always wear gloves wearing these, using these wire brush removal, because I tell you, if they hit your finger, that would take your finger down to the bone within a split second. Look what happened to one of them, straight through this glove, literally within a split second. So use some heavy duty good gloves when you're using that, and stay behind the wheel. This was just a little mishap, caught me, so I'm pretty used to using tools, but if this was on a bare finger, that would really ruin your day. So don't forget, good pair of gloves. Right, so I've measured out the cut on the center of the lip of the dog leg there. I've drilled all the spot welds out, bit of a pain in the arse. Wood drill got away from me here because of the angle and everything, but anyway, it helps if you do a little tiny starter hole or just a prick there, and then the bit holds true and you won't get this skidding around stuff. Well, you still do a little bit, but anyway. So I'm going to take this section out. I'm going to make a cut right across here, and then that will give us access to the inner dog leg and then the inside of this box section, and then we can repair this box section, or actually remove a good section of this, and then we can get to this. So I'm taking this out because it doesn't really add too much strength here, but I do have a piece of square tube that I'm going to use some brackets. I'm going to put some brackets here, something like that, in this region, and then essentially weld right across the tunnel over to the other, so it kind of locks this area out. I might add some bracing up. I'll see about that when I get in there. Okay, so I'm going to run, I put the tape in just as a guide. I'm going to run the cutter through here, and I should be able to lift this section out, and we'll see what's underneath. Right, there we have it. So I've made a cut along here, and there was one little spot weld I'd missed here. So that is what it exposes. So you can see there looks like some kind of underseal they put on there, or some cavity wax there, but that's not in bad shape. But I'll probably end up making a new one of these to fill this panel in, so we'll obviously save that. Let's get in closer and have a look. So okay, so where it connects to this box section looks really good. I'm going to clear all this. This is seam sealer. You can see how much seam sealer they stick on there to seal that joint. So next job is to clean everything up. See the bottom of the dog leg there? That's just some surface rust. Looks of it. Yeah, there's some surface rust there. Yeah, at the bottom of the dog leg. See, that's not too bad, but this is good metal right here, you see. But this section down the bottom here is rotten. And so what I'm just going to have to figure out a little plan of attack of the way to repair this. But this is what I was concerned, because the tab weld on this is gone as well. So we'll have to have a little think about how we're going to go about this. Also, our connection point with this box section is a bit naff here. This top section is okay, but probably about that far down of this top section, kind of like this region in here, is a bit naff as well. So anyway, next job is to clean all this up, get it all clean, probably spin the car as well, so I can get in and see the next step. So you can see our cut. What's nice is we've got part way on the bridge of the flange here, so we can get a good penetration weld back on there and fill in all the spots again. So this will be plenty strong enough, and this just spot weld straight back on again. Looks like it's, well, that's the crease section. It looks like it got a bit dented here. That will give me the opportunity to pound that dent back out, and that is it. Well, I think that's it for this video. Save it getting too long, because this is going to be broken up into many different sections to save getting them too big. In the next few videos, I want to do a video on how to stay motivated and keep your spirits up while you're doing something like this. You know, it's easy to get disheartened. I think Alan, it was, suggested a video, and I've been thinking about it for a while, but he kind of reminded me what a good idea that would be, and I think it really would. There's a couple of techniques I use to help me through it, and also number one, you've got to enjoy doing this sort of stuff. That's priority one, obviously, but we'll talk about that in another video. Please hit like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the new year. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers.